I'm cleaning up a little bit. I'm David with the Plant Bar, and going to get set up and ready for today's live show. Tuesday, June 3rd, 2025. If you're watching it back, we have a fun show for today. We're going to continue on with some of the things we were talking about last week and keep going with that theme a little bit more. Oh, okay, sound's working. So I've sent out the hey, we're live to everybody. So we're going to wait, see. We're going to wait for just a few minutes to get people a chance to hop on, and then we'll get started. So today's going to be an interactive day. Going to be asking, so the topic is Ask AI Live. So I have my phone, and I'm going to be chatting with AI, and we're going to be asking for some plant advice. We have some plants from a friend that has some plant problems and wanted some help diagnosing it. So we're going to use AI's help and then see how that is, see what's wrong with the plants based on what AI is saying, and then see if I have anything else to add, and then we'll be working through and doing some of those fixes here live on the show today. So I'll do my best to help add some conversation, and yeah, Crystal will be moderating. She's over on the side, so it'll just be me today. She'll be moderating. So if you're just hopping on, feel free to say hi, and we will get going. I guess while I got everything cleaned up here. We're going to run about an hour or so. Hopefully, I've got 4 plants that are in the plant hospital that I'm going to help my friend with, and they asked to be anonymous. So we'll keep them anonymous, but they got some plant struggles just like all of us, and yeah. So let me get myself going here. One thing I did forget was some water. Shucks. Hello, Renee. Okay, so let me get myself situated here. So we have a script. Oh, lights. Right there. Let's get the lights on.
Oh, so this is even on.
Ta-da! All right, so it's like nice and bright. Today we're kind of running into the summer, so it's not going to be as dark as it was for a little bit of time. December, January, our lives, it was getting dark, and then I had to invest in some lights. So now it's just extra, just for show here. So I'm going to be using ChatGPT, and then I'm going to be doing the chat function, which is not just typing it in. I'm going to talk. I get kind of annoyed at it sometimes. I'm looking over to Crystal because sometimes it doesn't let you finish, and you're like, I'm not done yet, and then it starts answering your questions. So, all right. So here's how it's going to work for today's show.
Yeah, talk faster.
I know. Well, I'm thinking at the same time. I don't have the supercomputer pushing the information through. No more pausing. Is that what I'm hearing? Well, the pause is the reflection and the thinking. I don't know how to fix that. And so I'm going to have a plant. I'm going to show its problems. So are we going to go as far as like, hey, let's, because obviously, I know what the plants are, but so are we trying to describe, are we saying the name of the plant and then this is what I'm seeing on my plant? Or are we like complete new person? And it's like, I have this plant and I don't know what it's called or what to do with it. No, so we start there.
I think you know what it's called.
Okay.
Your goal is to help people that have similar plants and similar issues.
Okay.
Use AI to help them. Or show them if it works.
Yeah, I know that. I'm saying from a beginner point of view, if you don't know the name of this plant, how are you going to describe it to somebody, right? I have this plant, like there's more to it than that. That's what I was trying to say. Well, you'd have to like describe the parts. So usually when somebody calls me and says, "Hey, I have this plant. I don't know what it is. I've got problems." They then do their best to describe their plant to me. So we're going to cheat a little bit. We're going to give ChatGPT already the name of the plant. So they're already going to be able to do that. So we'll do that part. So that's where the human part comes in. Like I'm going to say, "Hey, I have this particular plant and I see this or such and such on it. What should I do?" Okay. So we're going to start with this one. Pilea peperomoides, UFO plant, saucer plant. I think some people call it not the money tree, but a Chinese money plant. Got several different regular names. And so I'm looking at this. It's in a little ceramic pot. It's got babies, but there's some issues with it. And so I'm going to pull up the chat. Yeah.
Renee says, I put my monstera in an office with a humidifier. Should it be okay like that? Right off topic.
Yeah, a little, but that's okay. Monstera in an office with a humidifier. So it's in an AC environment. And so you're trying to get it to be more humid. Hopefully the humidifier is like next to it. It shouldn't be a problem. They don't need super high humidity though either. A monstera can survive in like 50 or 60% humidity. So the question to you, Renee, is okay, so what is the humidity percentage that you're now giving the plant? And then we can go from there. So while we wait for her to chat, we'll come back to this and we'll just do a couple things at once and we'll just kind of jump around, I guess. Yeah. That's okay. If you have questions, feel free to ask. I will more than likely have like, okay, I'll have a follow-up question. Okay, so I'm going to pull up ChatGPT and okay, new chat. All right, so I'm going to click. So I'm in ChatGPT, and then it's got this little function here. Mine's black and white, and it has these white lines on it. So I'm going to click that, and then that's where you can have a conversation with it. But that way you guys can hear. So I click it. Yeah, I have a plant question.
Of course. What's your plant question?
I have a Pilea peperomoides, and there's dark green veins in the leaves. There's no, it's not all deep green. That was me thinking, see? Okay, that was it.
Got it. The dark green veins with lighter green leaf tissue on your Pilea peperomioides can sometimes indicate a nutrient imbalance or a mild case of chlorosis. Usually this happens when the plant isn't getting enough iron or magnesium, or if the soil pH is a bit off. You might want to check your feeding routine and ensure it's getting balanced nutrients. Also, double check that it's not sitting in overly wet soil, as that can affect nutrient uptake.
Okay, so I guess when we did this, we're gonna have to adjust how we did it because it just keeps rambling on, right?
I get what you mean.
No, I'm not talking. I'm done talking to you. Sorry. Okay, so that's my problem with it. It just keeps listening. Funny thing, I'm on the thing. I'm driving. I think I was driving, and I have it hands free, but I'm researching something, and then there's an ambulance in the background, and ChatGPT is like, "Oh, I hear an ambulance. Are you okay?" And it's like, "Oh man, this is creepy." Okay, so it gave us a whole list of things to follow, which I don't necessarily disagree with, but maybe we don't need to do everything. So what I'd like to do is, all right, so we've got I've got, it said 1, the pH could be off, which is not allowing the plant to take up nutrients. If you were already feeding it, then it could be the pH. 2, you got an iron and manganese deficiency, which means it needs micronutrients. So on your plant labels, I don't have any available. The big numbers are the macronutrients, but this problem here, this is caused more than likely from iron, has been my experience. So we got an iron deficiency, so we need to try to give this some iron. We got pH that's off, we got iron, and then it also said it could be being overwatered. So I'm going to test the pH first. So I've got a pH tester. Let me put this in here and I'll flip it around. Oh man. There we go. So not sure if you can see that. Did I get close enough?
Yeah, kind of see.
Well, we need to see it.
It's on the low end of the pH.
Well, that's the alkaline side. So we're running at about 7.5. 7.5 pH, I think is what that reads. 7, little over 7. All right, so I'll let it know that. I also will switch this over. I'm going to switch this over to the moisture meter and see what that's reading down at the bottom. What do we got? Because I can't see through the back of it. Let me look. Yeah, so all the way wet. So now that's going to require some more digging a little deeper. Okay, so this is like super wet, way wet, and then the pH is a little under 7. So let me say this. Okay, I'll go back into it. Okay, I checked the pH, and the pH is right under 7. And then I also checked the soil moisture, and it is at a level 10, overly wet.
All right, that gives us some clues. With the pH just under 7, that's generally fine for a pilea, but the soil being overly wet could have some issues. Pileas prefer well-draining soil and don't like to sit in water, so that could be affecting nutrient uptake and causing the lighter leaf color. Letting the soil dry out a bit between waterings and ensuring proper drainage should help those leaves even out in color.
Okay, so I pushed stop so it didn't listen to me anymore. So this is where I agree with what it's saying, but I also would take this a couple steps further, because I can see that the pot it's in, and it didn't say, hey, what kind of pot is it planted in? What's the soil look like? So, but I'm here and I'm going to ask those questions. All right, so what kind of pot is the pilea in? It's a cute pot. It's got the trendy little rainbow things. I think that's what those are. But real cute pot, but you turn it over, and this is what I was hoping it was going to say, and you did it. There's no drainage in this planter. So no matter the soil that you have in there, it's always going to be overly wet or overly dry, because it's going to be difficult to water. I am going to pull this out. I want to see what kind of soil it is. And then what I want to do is I'm going to drill into this. So we got one of two options. Drill holes in the bottom of your ceramic planter, or repot the pilea into a pot that's got drainage, and then you put it in a sleeve inside the pot. But this pot is really short, and it's fat, so there's no pot that's a nursery pot, plastic pot, that's going to be like this. All right, so next step, just because I don't want to just say, okay, yeah, it's low in iron, let's just give it iron, when it's that's not the root of the problem. The root of the problem is that it's not allowed to dry out between waterings because there's no holes in the bottom of this, which is not allowing the plant to take up anything really that you're giving it. The soil is anaerobic, so that's going to be my problem, or my solution to what's going on here. So first step is I'm going to try to pull this out. Let me see what kind of soil we got this in. Try not to yank up on the stem. It does have a bunch of little babies, so that's cool. That's good. Okay, so we got some rocks for drainage. So some rocks were placed for drainage when it was planted here, and the rocks are fully embedded with all the roots. So I'm going to take the rocks out. So there's not a lot of soil left. It looks like this is all just roots. This entire mass is roots. So generally, you want to not be afraid to pull your plant out and let's take a look. Okay, I've got this up here. We use ChatGPT, kind of got us going, but then there's more to the story, right? We got a pot with no drainage holes. So I'm going to do my best to fix that. So the rocks in the bottom could help to a certain degree, but then when it becomes all full of roots, there's no soil really. There's not a lot of soil left in here. So when we're watering, it's just sitting in water because the soil there's not enough to really hold it. So then the roots are just sitting in water basically. Which this I know where this was. So it was outside on a lanai in Hawaii. So it's a real temperate climate, and it allowed for this to happen. Had this been placed inside in the same conditions, it would have went sideways quick, because it had been way too wet, and it would have just shriveled up. All the leaves would have been lost, and you'd have been left with a stick. Anybody have one of those? I bet so. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to drill some. ChatGPT didn't tell me to do this, but I'm telling you, anytime you have almost any plant, really, the decorative pots are good. They're real pretty, but then they also, if you can find a way to sleeve a plant in there so you can pull it out when you water, or find a way to drill holes in it, so that you can get the water to drain out when you water it. So I'm going to try to do a little bit of drilling here. I do have a drill back here, and then it does have, so it's got a ceramic bit on it. It's a diamond plated bit. You can buy these at any hardware store, to where you can then drill into ceramic material like this. There was like a trend I saw, and I guess I haven't ever tried it, but you can fully submerge a ceramic. Some people said it didn't work. Fully submerged ceramic pots. We'll have to try this on some other pots. And then you get a nail and you pop the nail and it goes right through. I guess because of the water. So if you're just, oh man, this is like hard to go. If you're just checking in with us, we're doing using AI to help diagnose some problems. We're using live chat with AI, and then I'm adding my 2 bits. So AI got us as far as to like, okay, we understand what the problem, but then it didn't give us like the full-fledged, like, this is going to solve your problem with this particular plant. It was maybe going to band-aid it, or it probably wouldn't have worked because the plant would have still been full of water, and no ability to like pull up the nutrients that we're trying to give it. So I have some water here. So I'm going to spray the top of this with some water. And then hopefully this isn't too loud, noisy, I don't know. So we're working here. What's that?
This is probably really loud.
Is that too loud? I've got to get a.
I think you're making people nervous.
Well, keep watching then.
Don't crack that pot.
Is this a family heirloom?
I don't know.
Put this on the drill. Oh, it is on drill. Too loud.
It's a favorite. No, yes.
Oh, it's
family
favorite.
heirloom. It's a favorite.
Yeah, we got this. I'm almost there. So I'll only do one.
You're making me nervous.
I'll only do one, but you guys can get the idea. Drill some holes in the bottom of this, and we're going to make this plant look better. Was this like a special Mother's Day gift?
Passing it on to my oldest daughter. Lack of concern is concerning.
Mine? I'm just worried about the noise. How are we doing with the noise? Okay, good. We're almost there, guys. Yeah. Okay, we're learning here. We're getting better. I'm like halfway there, I think. See how thick this is. This tip is specifically made for this. How do you think I'm doing over here? I think it's a really thick pot. I'll show you where we're at so far so you can see.
All I know is you're making me very nervous.
We definitely have a nice clean hole that's started. See it there? But it's taking a long time. The other part was my drill wasn't totally charged. Sometimes if this doesn't work, you just get a hammer out. So let me grab this.
You're really.
Let me just get the hammer.
So,
I'm just kidding.
Mrs. Woodford.
No, we're not learning here. I've done this before. I just don't know how thick this is. So maybe one more minute of drilling. And then if it hasn't, then I'll drill this offline. We'll finish this up. I will put this in a different soil for now, for the live show. But for time's sake, I'm going to let you know, definitely drill some holes. And then let me give it one more minute here, see if I can get through.
Are we all holding our breath right now?
We're so close, guys. We're so close.
I can't. I think my mic cut out because I was trying to put my headphones on so I could listen to the live, but it was like conflicting with the phone.
We're so close. For
Sorry,
time,
guys.
for time's sake, because I
Yeah.
don't want to be here for another 20 minutes. And
So-
usually, whenever you like say we're gonna make a video of this, we would say fast forward, and it just and then all of a sudden there's just holes in it.
Yeah, we're doing
But-
this live.
You can see we are. It's like oh, halfway there.
So
We're living on a prayer here, but
Mrs. Woodford said it's very thick,
yeah, it's pretty thick.
and she
'Cause
wrote
this is the
no. And then Renee said, "Now you got me holding my breath."
Now we're almost
Girl,
there.
I'm with you. I'm
But for-
right there with you.
For time's sake, I'm going
I'm
to.
stressing out.
Everything's gonna be okay. I promise.
I don't like this.
It'll be okay. But I'll do that
Hopefully, my mic is working.
off camera. Can you guys all hear Crystal?
'Cause
She's just like in the background
I had
talking.
to disconnect my AirPods because they kept hooking up to my phone and messing up the mics.
Okay, so we need
It's all good.
iron and we need some other stuff. I guess I wish I had a squatty pot. So for right now, the fix is this for this. 1, get it in a pot with drainage. 2, you could continue to water it the way it was watered because now there's going to be a hole in the bottom so that it'll just drain out. And then the third part will be for this is that we need to give it some fertilizer that has micronutrients in it. So we've got an iron deficiency more than likely, pretty common with these plants, but it's also, it's waterlogged, so it's not able to take up the right nutrients. And to fix that, there is Osmocote Essentials with micros, and when you get it with the micros, those micronutrients that includes iron and manganese and magnesium and some others. So that would fix that. So I hate doing double work, but I also don't want to spend too long because it's going to probably take another 5-10 minutes to finish drilling this pot. But I promise it'll be fixed after that. I'm going to drill some holes in it and it'll be good. Unless you want to put this plant in something else and then save this pot for something else. But we're almost there. Let's see here. Let me get a 6-inch pot.
Phew, I can breathe again. There's a lot of relief in the crowd right now.
That was only stopped because I just don't want to spend my precious live time trying
Drilling
to
a hole.
drill a hole in a pot. But you can see it's a lot of fun doing it. Okay, so for soil for pileas, they prefer a soil similar to like a succulent would like. So we're gonna have organic potting soil, then add in some extra perlite that we have. So I guess I didn't bring the soil here. 1 second. Be right back. Where's the other soil? Oh, it's right there. Didn't fully get set up today. Okay. So regular.
We can breathe now, guys. No tense holding breath over
Organic potting mix. So
breaking
this is the
pot.
plant bar base soil that I have here. We mixed it on a live a little while ago. It's all ready now.
We're being
Ooh,
asked
yeah.
how the weather is. Renee has friends in Honolulu. Who's in Honolulu?
The weather, so it was rainy this morning.
Who's here?
It was rainy this morning, and then as the day wore on, it got hot.
Yep.
I don't know, the low 80s.
Today was supposed to be a hot day because
Yeah, thankfully it was rainy in the morning, and
index was supposed to be a
that
12.
helped out. That helped out a lot. All right, so I don't have perlite. Shucks. How come I don't have perlite back here?
Where'd your perlite go?
I think I cleaned up a lot. Okay. Crystal's gonna grab some perlite.
What am I doing?
It's just over there.
Where's it at?
Over there with the rest of the soil mix products. Okay. So I want to mix in a little extra perlite than what's already here. This is our plant bar base soil. It's good, solid, ready. You know, this is we mixed it a little while ago and then had to jam out and then had to let it cure, sit. And I want to add just a little bit more perlite for this plant. I'll mix it together. Maybe just like 10% more perlite. There's a decent amount in here. It's probably in the closet. Sorry, Crystal's behind the scenes, like looking for it.
They can probably hear
Sorry
me
for
over
not
here.
being totally prepared. We were almost totally prepared today.
I found it.
All right, it's coming. And yeah, look, we're pretty close. Don't worry, we'll get a hole in there. But we always, you want to have good drainage holes. That'll solve some problems.
And there's lots of lizards today.
A lot of lizards means there's lots of bugs then.
Gross.
Okay, so we have some perlite. Grab some of this. %, mix in there. We have a live audience today. School is out here. Is it out where you're at? And so the kids are...
I think a lot of the mainland gets out in like a week or two.
Oh, so they're still in school.
Some kids
Not
are still in
here.
school.
They are all out.
Oh, sorry, I missed some comments while I was getting perlite. YPG is testing there for the next month or so. Is that the one Kara helped you mix?
This soil?
Yeah.
No. I made this on the floor a couple months, 6 weeks ago.
On the live.
Yeah, it was on a live show. So this was this is the base mix blend that we did. We put it all together and then had to let it cure. But then it rained. I didn't have it all the way covered, but it's good, solid. It's really nice, really good. Okay, so I've got my mix. I'm just admiring the soil. That's nice soil you got there. Wow. Okay. I'm going to plant it in this for now, just for fun, till I get that, just so I can show you guys. Fill that in there. Oh, a little too much. There we go. Tuck all the roots in there. I'm gonna throw this at a little bit of an angle because it was growing kind of sideways, so we're gonna straighten this guy up. We'll leave it like this for now. I'll just show you what I would do. And then I'll redo it off the camera before it goes back to its forever home. So a little bit on the sideways side. That way this thing is straight. Pinch around the corners.
What makes a good soil good and solid?
Good and solid. One, we want living soil. So we want natural organic ingredients, and you want a good mix of soil that's going to be good for the plant. So a good portion of peat, compost, and then natural fertilizers is what we have in this one. So bone meal, feather meal, alfalfa meal. We made this one similar to the Fox Farm ocean forest. So it's got kelp meal and some other things. And then also charcoal, perlite, worm castings, and some mycorrhizae, and that's what makes it living, and that's what makes soil good. So a lot of times when you buy, if you get soil that's shipped, they have to go, I can't remember the technical term. They gotta bake it. Because it's gotta go across state lines, or like the soil that gets brought here, and so it's all been baked out. So all the living stuff isn't necessarily in it. So then you'd have to re-add it sometimes, unless you're getting something local, um, or something that hasn't been needed that to be done to it. Long answer. Okay, so I planted this here. It's mostly straight. It's got a little curve to it, so not straight looking that way. And then the last part was, okay, so it said the pH was good. Remember that. So we're good with the pH, but then more than likely saturated. So now we've fixed that. We've got drainage holes, and then low on micronutrients. So we're going to give it some fertilizer that has the micronutrients in it. So can't find my little measuring cup. So we got Osmocote Plus with iron. It's got the micros, and so it's got iron and all the essentials in it. And so what I would do is I'm going to follow the directions on the side of the cap, side of the bottle, based on the size of the pot. And then from here, water this plant in. And then after that, though, then you're going to want to let this kind of dry out a little bit, and then follow the normal watering routine. I had a water can. Oh, you're here. Okay, so we'll water it. Just going to water it till the water comes out the bottom. There we go. And then once that happens, going to let it sit. So you could put it back in the same place that you had it, but then let it dry out a little bit before the next watering. And then after that, just you should be able to water it the same cycle that you were. But now we have holes in the bottom. If it starts to maybe dry out a little bit too much, you could, because it's been used to kind of been sitting in water, you could put a saucer under the plant to hold the water kind of down below, but not in the root zone. So it's pulling it when it needs it, but it's not like right in the bottom of the pot anymore. Okay, so now I've got this thing of soil here and some rocks. I'm gonna dispose of the rocks. We won't be using those, needing those. These will go into another project, clean them up, reuse them. Okay, we got time for probably one more. So I'm gonna do the.
Well, as long as you're not drilling a pot. Hey,
Gonna
is
drill
that
another
one of
pot.
those blue thingies?
Blue thingies.
Yeah, that looks like that one plant. That's not what I think it is?
No.
No, I failed.
Okay, so I'm going to.
Do you know what I was?
Did we get an answer from Renee? I had asked her about
Yes, I was waiting to not.
humidity. What's the
Excuse me.
humidity? We're in a little in
So
between
she
here.
said humidifier is set to 49%, 4 days a week, in an air-conditioned building in direct west window.
Direct west. Like the sun is hitting it.
That's what that sounds like.
So it was a Monstera, right? When we say Monstera, what Monstera? Swiss cheese?
She didn't say yet, so yeah. Renee, let us know what kind of Monstera, and is it in direct sun? When you said direct
West sun
window,
and the
she
window.
said direct west window.
Okay. So yeah, the humidity should be fine. That was her question.
Yeah, was her question.
Yeah. I guess if the leaves aren't burning and it's sitting in that window,
Probably
then
fine.
it's fine. And so a sunburned leaf is going to have like a sunburn on it, like almost like a scab look on a Monstera, kind of a darker color. If it's getting too much sun.
Swiss cheese Monstera, and it is not really in direct sunlight. There are horizontal shades in the room.
Oh, okay, that should be fine, and that humidity should be good, I would say. They do okay with lower humidity, but I said that a lot of times. The higher humidity will definitely make it more happy.
It's a conversation live. This is good.
What's that?
It's a conversation live.
Yeah.
It's okay.
So we're going to move on to this plant, and this is where, like, if you didn't know the name of the plant, then ChatGPT might have, like, there's gonna have to be some, like,
Bad advice.
well, it's just gonna depend. Like, oh, I have this hanging plant.
But shouldn't ChatGPT be like, what kind of plant is it?
It really should. Should I start with that and see what
Let's
it
see what it
asks?
does. Yeah.
Okay.
I bet you it's going to tell you an answer that's wrong.
So ChatGPT always wants to be right, and that's the one problem that you have with it, is that, like, it wants to give you an answer.
Plus, it also takes misinformation.
Yep, and then we're giving it all of its knowledge on the internet. So
Yeah.
okay, so the next one is okay. Okay, I have a new plant. It's a hanging plant, and it has brown splotches, marks on most of the leaves. Can you tell me what's wrong with it?
Sure, brown splotches on the leaves of a hanging plant could be caused by a few common issues. It could be due to overwatering, which can lead to root rot and leaf spots, or underwatering, which causes dry, crispy patches. Another possibility is a fungal or bacterial infection, especially if the plant's leaves stay wet for long periods. It might also be a sign of pests or sunburn if it's getting too much direct sunlight. Take a look at the watering schedule and the environment. If it's consistently damp, let it dry out a bit more between waterings. If the air is very dry, it might need a bit more humidity. Also, check for any pests on the undersides of the leaves or along the stems.
Okay, thanks. So lots of talking there. Lots of talking,
It
but
sounds like very general
super general. So it
general
didn't
responses
give
to
me,
any
like,
plant.
yeah, it's like, oh, I'll give you, like, the whole answer, instead of, okay, before I give you the answer, what plant are we talking about here? So this is a micans. It's a philodendron micans. It's actually one I love this plant. I propagate it a lot. It's got velvety smooth leaves, brown underneath, and then green on the top. And then when they get bigger, sometimes they'll have, like, they grow into, like, a nice heart. And I was gonna pull some of mine because I got several. I like to grow these. So I guess I won't say that it's wrong, but okay. So it said what? ChatGPT said, could be caused. Well, here's the thing. Hey, you could have overwatered it. You could have underwatered it. You could have put it in not enough sun, too much sun,
Or there's bugs, or there's
or
too
there's
much.
bugs, or
Yeah.
it's like, okay, well, you just gave the encyclopedia of all the things. So let's take it a step further. Do I tell it? Do I tell it what it is? All right, let me tell it what it is.
Plants in my hair.
Since you didn't ask what plant it is, this is a philodendron micans. What do you think I should do?
Ah, a philodendron micans. Thanks for clarifying. For a micans, brown splotches are often related to watering issues or humidity levels. They prefer consistently moist but well-draining soil and higher humidity. If the soil has been overly wet, let it dry out a bit more between waterings to avoid root rot. Also, consider increasing the humidity around the plant. A pebble tray or a humidifier can help. Trim off any severely damaged leaves to encourage new growth, and keep an eye on watering consistency and humidity to help it bounce back.
Okay, this plant is in Oahu, Hawaii, so the humidity level is generally always high.
Got it. That definitely helps. Since the humidity is naturally high in Oahu, the issue is more likely related to watering or possibly a fungal infection. Make sure the soil isn't staying soggy for too long, and ensure the pot has good drainage. If you suspect a fungal issue, you can trim off the affected leaves and consider using a mild fungicide. Keeping an eye on the watering routine should help your micans recover nicely.
Okay. Okay, so now it's dwindled it down to a watering issue. So I'll interject there, and I wouldn't have went all the rest of the way, and I would have just said, okay, we got a watering issue. The other thing that it didn't talk about, and then I'm nervous to actually do, is it said, hey, you might have a fungal issue, spray the leaves with a fungicide. The problem is this plant has velvety soft leaves. So if you spray it with some sort of oil or a product that has oil in it, now you've blocked all the pores, not allowing it to breathe, which will make you have even more. You'll have way more brown splotches than this. So I would not recommend doing that on this particular plant. Cannot spray the leaves with neem, which is a fungicide, or any other fungicide that has oils in it. So what I am thinking is, all right, I'm looking at the soil. So I guess what do you guys think? The other thing is it's in a self-watering pot. So let me undo this. So that's the other thing. Okay, it's in a self-watering pot. It's got the hole here, reservoir for water down here. I'm carrying it. It is exceptionally heavy, which means that there's a good amount of water in here. Not in the bottom, but within the soil. I'm looking, there's a little bit of water in there. Okay, let me take the bottom off here. Okay, so we got a little bit of nice drinking water stored underneath.
Gross.
And then we've got some roots, but the roots are actually healthy, growing into the water. I don't know if you guys can see that. They're white. Let me see if they're actually, oh, never mind. Okay, that one's white. This one was rotten, fleshy, rotten. Okay, so couple things with these self-watering planters is if you put a plant that doesn't like its roots to be wet, the feet to be wet, it causes issues because it's going to always be very, very wet at the bottom of this pot. So my suspicion is similar to the pilea that we did. And so what I want to do is I'm going to repot this. Reason why, for me, I've got a couple indicators. I'm looking at the soil. And so the Micans is pretty resilient. They'll put up with some stuff, but there's not a lot of drainage in here. And coupled with it's in this type of pot, which is nice to not have to worry about watering all the time because it's a self-watering pot. It also can tend to allow the roots to be a little too wet. So I'm going to depot this, strip some of this heavy soil. If you notice, there's no perlite in there. It's mostly compost, a lot of wood chips. So it's a heavy soil it was potted with, more than likely maybe more of an outdoor potting soil rather than an indoor potting mix that would be more heavy with peat and cocoa coir and perlite. So I'm gonna depot this, get it some good soil, and when I depot it too, I want to see what's down. I'm gonna see how wet it is down there. Oh, I guess let's do moisture real quick, just to give you guys an idea. So right there's the top. Oh, we're already there. So that's the top. That's the top like inch. And it probably doesn't have anywhere to go, but it's going to be wetter and wetter as we go down to there. So nice and wet. Soil's definitely not, underwatering is definitely not a problem here. So I won't be drilling into this, but I am going to depot this and then shoot. Do you guys have any other ideas of what I should do while I'm getting myself situated here? I'm going to move this soil over too. So don't worry, plant mom, we're going to save this guy. It's going to be, we'll have to have a check-in at some point in the future. It's going to be good. And the other one too, when we drill that hole in there, it's going to be better. There are some insects on this particular leaf, but I'm going to depot it, repot it, and then we'll go through a couple other things.
And then we'll come back and look at it in a week or two.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, we'll get this all.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So let's start from the beginning. If you didn't know the name of your plant, say someone gifted you a plant and you didn't know the name of it, and you didn't have an expert plant friend that you could ask, what other methods could we use to find out what our plant is? I know we've used some apps in the past.
Yeah. So
and sometimes they work.
uh, so the apps are all AI generated though.
Yeah.
Unless there's a real. So the Greg app does have some people that's involved with it, but otherwise, I would say, options are you can go to a local nursery, bring in pictures or a leaf and tell them the exact thing, or a plant, an online plant store similar to ours where you can send in pictures, ask us what you think we should do, and then that way you can get a better idea of what to do. You could also use Google, but I would just say before you try some of these other hacks, like if you would have listened straight to AI, you didn't know what plant it was, and it said spray all the leaves with neem oil, you would have blasted this thing and it wouldn't have been happy,
Yep.
and you would have went a little backwards.
That's comforting to know that AI can't quite take our jobs yet.
So it definitely didn't get that right. It screwed that up. It didn't give a disclaimer like, oh hey, the leaves are velvety and soft and yada yada yada. So it missed that. But I would yeah, lean on some people that know. There's also like local Facebook groups. Each area generally has like a bunch of people that are totally into plants, and I know that there's also like a national one too where you could kind of ask some questions. You might get a bunch of different opinions too, though. So I guess use caution, do some research before you do anything. If it's, I guess, as far as spraying goes, if it's like, hey, let's change the soil out or try a different pot that's got holes in it, I don't think you'll ever go wrong with that, ever. It's when you're spraying a solution on a plant that maybe it shouldn't have been sprayed with. So I'm gonna depot this. See what we got here in the bottom, and kind of what I suspected. You can see it's like really shiny, and there's not a lot of perlite in there. I see some old fertilizer. There is a little bit of bug activity. There's a little spider. So there's some living stuff in the soil, but it's a very compact soil. This is like super dense and really heavy. And so my opinion would be for this philodendron micans that it's not enjoying this very dense soil, as it's a tropical plant. Generally would be growing, it's got air roots and things like that, and it doesn't like its roots to be wet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this soil and I'm gonna scrape it off and then place it in the planter, which would like this soil, and then replace it. And it definitely is like wet, stagnant. Oh, it came apart. All right. Got this on its side. Take this off. So sometimes when you do this, right? So it wasn't like super well rooted in this. So I'm gonna do my best to preserve some of it, and then we're gonna replant the rest of this. So I'm gonna take this and replant it into good soil, and then we're going to take this soil and put it in the planter over here. Let me can you guys hear some background noise?
There's children playing.
Do we need to stop the park that's in the front yard right now?
I mean,
I'm asking them.
We'll see.
If it's not bothersome,
They
then
probably can't hear it.
I'm going to ignore it.
When I used to talk to you from right here and I didn't have my microphone on, you couldn't really hear me. Now when they walk by us with
Thank you for donating to my planter back here. The tea leaves are gonna love the soil. Okay, so we're gonna need more soil because this is a decent pot. So you can see the bottom on these pots. Just know, like, this is what I was talking about. Like, so it has this little catch tray that is supposed to that's part of this self-watering system. But a lot of times it doesn't help with the drainage. So I'm gonna put some stuff down there, and then we'll some rocks, and then we'll repot the top. My hands are like extra dirty. All right, so a little bit of drainage rocks, and then I will.
Happy children don't bother me. Maybe kids.
Let me get a little more soil. We're gonna need more.
Buddy. You got 5 minutes, my dear.
Yeah, we're gonna finish this one in 5 minutes.
All right.
Got through 2 of them.
We have kind of a busy night tonight. Well,
And
I do.
And we went. Yeah, you do. I don't.
David doesn't have a busy night. I do. I have a meeting at 7:15, and then I'm supposed to go to book club tonight.
Book club is.
Although I didn't finish the book, so
I'm not invited to book club. That's a
no
separate event.
Nope.
I'm not asking for an invite.
I mean, you did listen to part of my book.
Not.
Do you have anything to say about it? I mean, I doubt it. That's what book club is about, is talking about what you read.
I don't even remember it. Okay, so what happened, I honestly don't even remember. So the best part about that is I could hear it again and it'd be like it was all brand new. It's like a whole new book, whole new movie.
Yeah.
Okay, so when I depotted this, a lot of the roots that were in this plant weren't super happy, so they're gone. This is what we got left. The good thing about philodendron micans, especially in a humid environment, is it pulls a lot of the moisture in from the leaves. It has like a lot of air roots, and so it'll be fine.
Is that pot okay?
This one?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine. Just needed to change the soil that was in there, and I put rocks in the bottom. My hands. I don't want to make this more. I put some pebbles in the bottom, so that way when there's water in here, there's a little bit of separation for now between the soil and the water. So the roots, if they want to go in there, they would go into the rocks and should be okay. All right, let me fill this up. So when you've got this going on, obviously that big root ball is no longer. We just got a little root ball in the middle here. So I'm going to fill this up till about, so I did like this. So I've got a little cup for this. And then what I'm going to do, you won't be able to see really, sorry. Grab the bunch, place it in there. Try to make sure we get all the roots. So there's some healthy roots here. I don't know if you can see. So we got one. Honestly, there's not a lot in this plant, which is why it was like on the struggle bus. Not a lot of healthy roots. So I'm gonna place those in there like that, and then finish filling. So this particular plant will grow just like oh, here's the other one.
Oh, Mrs. Woodford is crying.
Just like pothos.
She's crying about it.
This is gonna be the best thing that ever happened to it. Little TLC for it. Promise. So we'll pull this around.
And if you kill it, we have like 10 others.
This is not going to kill it.
Give her 10.
This
10 other
is
ones.
very common.
David has lots of those plants.
Common with this plant. Does not like, as with most philodendron, they don't like their
You should
roots.
sell this big one over here.
That's the mama.
Yeah, she worth some money.
That's where all the babies come from. She's a baby making mama.
We got to sell the plants.
Okay, get a little more soil here, and then clean up the limbs, because there are some of these leaves that are too damaged, and we'll just cut those off. Oh, this.
They are sturdy enough to withstand that.
Yeah, this plant. Yeah, very similar
I think that's what Renee means.
Very similar to a pothos, and their hardiness and ability to withstand some transplanting.
Just letting you know you're at time.
Yeah, we're gonna go over just a little bit because I want to finish this. Okay, so I've got this guy repotted. So we found out that
It needs a trim.
it needs a trim. We've got it repotted. I am not going to fertilize this plant. There's fertilizer in the soil I gave it, and that should be plenty for now. But I do want to clean it up. So I'll make it look nice on the top. I'm gonna use some cocoa chunks. Like that. So this is what it looks like down there now. And then I will put it back in its holder. Okay, so now we've got this guy back together, and it's like 5 pounds lighter than it was. So that'll be good. It'll be happy about that. Get that, won't have as dense of soil to get the roots in there. Lay this like that. Go across with that. Okay, last step would be, I agree. Yes, let's clean up these leaves that are too far gone. So I'm just gonna trim off some of these. Now if you came, you've got these long ones and then a lot of them are no good, like this one here. But I'll show you what I wanna do is, so we don't have any new leaves growing on this. I'm going to cut it internode in here in the center. And I'm gonna take this guy and try to reroot it. So it doesn't look any different, but at least now you don't have a stick hanging out the side. And these should reroot pretty easily into the soil that we gave it. So I'm only going to take off a couple of these that are like too far gone. What I'd recommend is over time, you're going to get some new leaves, and then once the new leaves come, you can pinch these back a little bit. All right. So we fixed the root of the problem. I didn't see any bugs. I was looking on the underneath. There was one that had some spiders, but they weren't like, it was like a natural spider. It wasn't bugs that are eating on the plants. Yeah, there's one here too. Okay, I'm not going to water this just yet. It was pretty overwatered. Wait a couple days after it's been repotted, and then I'm going to water, and then just keep a normal watering cycle for this, which is generally about once every, if it's inside, you can go every 10 days or so, depending on how humid or where it's at. Outside, you can water once a week. And oh, there's the thing. So what we didn't get to, and I will save it for another day, we've got this succulent that's also in a pot with no plant, and it's got these black spots and these rust spots.
That plant looks like that blue plant.
Blue plant.
You know what I'm talking about? It's got like a bluish, greenish leaf, and it sticks out like that.
The oily fern?
It's
the
a
blue
rare
oily fern?
It's rare.
Yeah, that's not this.
Okay, it kind of looks like it.
This is a succulent.
Looks similar.
Yeah, it's a gasteria of some sort. It's nice. It's big. They're usually really small, but it definitely had some trouble. So I would say, hey, you can leave it in here, and because the size of this pot, you don't even have to necessarily like drill a hole in it, but this needs to be in a pot that's got some holes in the bottom of it, so that the water will go through. You can take it out, water it, and then put it back. Okay, and we didn't get to this either. So I guess
I would say if you're local, I'm sure this is nerve-wracking for the person that owns these plants, but also kind of fun, hopefully. But if you're local and you have some struggling plants that you want us to live diagnose on the show, they can reach out to us.
Yeah, so local here to Hawaii. We
Yeah.
can always help anybody online,
Yeah.
but you're not going to be able to get your plants over to us.
Yeah. But we
So
can also do like FaceTime or video chat,
yeah,
plant
yeah,
doctor stuff.
so if you have some questions, feel free to send them through our socials.
Or
YouTube doesn't.
comment below. Just we'll
Yeah,
reach out to you.
the YouTube doesn't allow pictures through the comments,
No.
but we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, TikTok, all that stuff. So I'm out of time. We got through 2 out of the 4 that I was supposed to save, and I didn't even the pilea here. It's still not in the right pot, but we'll get it there. That'll be offline. We'll take care of that, and then we'll get these plants back to its owner. We're gonna check back into them, and we'll see how the new soil and the new care routine does for these 2 guys. So if you haven't already, please like this live video that you've been watching. We appreciate you coming, hanging out with us, talking plants, and we go live every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Pacific time. It's 5 here in Hawaii. We do all kinds of plant tips, tricks, and other things. So I'm gonna sign out. Thank you for watching. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe to our channel, Plant Bar, and we'll see you next time. I'm David. Bye bye.
I'm Crystal in the background. Bye, guys.